Coming up, the deadline is looming for state lawmakers to figure out a solution before pension payouts skyrocket for several service providing agencies in Kentucky. And debate is stirring in West Virginia, where officials at the state capitol are being asked to remove a nearby Confederate monument. Plus, a community center in one eastern Kentucky county is opening its doors to the public after being closed for 8 years.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:30 on Friday, June the 21st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Spring is about to be sprung, and summer is going to come in, and it's going to hit us with a wallop, because today we're not going to see any rain, and by the end of the week, by the middle of next week rather, you're going to know it's summer. Let's bring Brandon in this morning. And Brandon, we joked about it earlier, but the first time in a while, banners are blue, and so is the sky. Yeah,
exactly. Especially later today, you'll see that as sunrise approaches quickly, and we're getting a much-needed break from the rain. But it's not going to last, unfortunately. Let's take a look at our cameras this morning. US 119 up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain. All quiet there overnight. There was a few showers that moved through parts of the Big Sandy, but kind of got out of here pretty quickly as we went to the first part of the overnight there, about midnight, about 2 o'clock or so. But clouds, a few of those around. Everybody else kind of dry and quiet this morning. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s heading out the door right now. Across the state, 66 Cincinnati, Nashville as well, 65 in Louisville, and 61 down toward London. Day planner for today, temperatures rise quickly, and to get at about 80 later on this afternoon. Full forecast in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. The deadline is looming for state lawmakers to figure out a solution before pension payouts skyrocket for quasi-governmental agencies. The Courier-Journal interviewed Governor Bevin's deputy chief of staff this week. He said the administration believes it now has enough votes to pass a bill that would give relief to these quasi-governmental agencies. Local lawmakers say they expect a special session to be called soon, but say they have not seen a new bill. If no new bill is passed by July 1st, pension contributions for those agencies will jump from around 50% to higher than 80%.
Fixing this thing after the crisis has happened, if we miss this deadline and it does cause people to lose their job, it's kind of like putting your seatbelt on after the crash. And so the good thing is this. I mean, there's a lot of positives from the pension thing. Is everybody's talking about it. You know, I've been in office for a long time, and there was never really this kind of emphasis. There was not an in-depth look at it. There was not this many people that were concerned about it.
Now, Senator Brandon Smith says he expects that if legislation is passed, it will have a retroactive fix for agencies impacted in the meantime. Now, some of those agencies caught in the crosshairs of the pension concerns are local health departments. I talked to one director who said they were in bad shape, but that planning ahead has helped some. Director Pete Shepard said for a while things were getting tight.
If we hadn't made the plans, we would have shut down probably within 4 to 5 months.
In the 6 years Shepard has been the director, he has seen his staff numbers drop from 19 to 10.
I had 2 of my employees was going to be 20 years next year, and they was afraid that they might have to leave the health department without their 20 years. So I've made it sure that they're going to be here another year, at least to get their 20 years in.
As uncertainty continues here in Frankfort, it boils over to buildings like this one, where steps are being taken to make sure some services can continue.
We'll just be basically on the line. I mean, we'll just basically be able to survive.
Services are trimmed back now.
Cervical cancer screenings, breast cancer screenings, things of that nature, we've had to just eliminate those.
And the prospect of a raise?
None of my employees will be able to ever have a raise, probably in their lifetime.
But despite it all, they keep moving, hoping this debacle will end, saving vital services for some of Kentucky's most at risk. Now, when Senator Ralph Alvarado was in town last month, as you know, he is Governor Bevin's running mate, he said he did see a possibility of making a bill retroactive in case it was passed after the July 1st deadline. Now, here is a breakdown of how each mountain health department would be impacted by no deal. Highlighted in red are counties where departments would be solvent for less than a year. In yellow, there are 2 years of solvency. Very few would not be impacted. A couple include Johnson and Martin counties. Now, the debate over whether or not to remove Confederate monuments has sparked strong opinions across the nation in recent years. Yesterday, one man took the fight to the West Virginia Capitol. Howard Swint wants the Stonewall Jackson monument taken down, along with other statues dedicated to the Confederacy around the state. While many believe these memorials need to stay because of the historical value, Swift believes the monuments promote hate speech, racism, and white supremacy.
We should put it in the darkest corner of the Culture Center in the basement and run 12 Years a Slave, the movie, in the background so that everyone can see what they stood for, what they fought for, and why we should move on from those days of the past.
The Stonewall Jackson Monument first stood on the Capitol grounds in 1910, which was located in downtown Charleston. The monument was moved in 1926 to its current state at the corner of Canal Boulevard and California Avenue. The Supreme Court ruled Thursday that a 40-foot cross on public land in Maryland does not violate separation of church and state. Called the Peace Cross, the American Legion built this monument in 1925 to honor 49 local men who died in World War I. After a highway was built around it, the cross was deeded to a local public agency that manages parks in 1961. In 2012, a group of residents filed a lawsuit saying the government should not endorse a religion or use taxpayer money to maintain a religious symbol. The Supreme Court disagreed in a 7-2 vote, allowing the cross to stand. The Trump administration has agreed to grant the request of a U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to keep Kentucky's 3 Job Corps civilian conservation centers open and under the direction of the USDA. There had been a proposal to close the CCCs located in Frenchburg and Pine Knot. The facilities serve as risk youth in Edmonson, Menifee, and McCreary counties in Kentucky and employ more than 100 workers. Well, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy signed Sammy's Law to protect riders on ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft. Samantha Josephson was a student at the University of South Carolina that was kidnapped and killed in March after getting into a car she thought was her Uber. The new law requires rideshare vehicles to use identifying markers on front and back windshields, display their name, photo, and license plate number on a sign in rear windows, and have a barcode riders can scan to ensure they're getting into the correct car. A similar law has been introduced in the United States Senate. The law enforcement community in Sacramento, California is mourning the loss of one of their own. Sacramento State University administrators and former classmates of slain Officer Tara O'Sullivan gathered to express their grief over the loss of the 26-year-old's life. Officer O'Sullivan was killed while responding to a domestic violence call at a North Sacramento home Wednesday that turned into an 8-hour standoff.
We're devastated tonight. There are no words to convey the depth of sadness we feel.
Officer O'Sullivan had been on the job for less than 6 months after graduating from Sacramento State's inaugural program that prepares students for law enforcement. Those who knew Officer O'Sullivan say they will celebrate and honor the young officer's memory. Officer O'Sullivan is the first Sacramento police officer to be killed in the line of duty in 20 years. A scholarship at Sacramento State will be established in her honor. A federal grand jury indicted 2 more employees of Ripley Entertainment. That's the company that owned the duck boat Ducks Branson, which was involved in a deadly accident last summer that killed 17 people. Curtis Lanham and Charles Baltzell are charged in a 47-count indictment that was made public Thursday. Lanham was in charge of the attraction's day-to-day operations, while Baltzell's job included monitoring the weather. The boat's captain was indicted on misconduct and neglect charges last November. One person was killed in a wrong-way crash early Thursday morning in Hart County, Kentucky. Police say the driver of an SUV was driving on the wrong side of the road when the vehicle hit a Greyhound tour bus and a semi-truck head-on. When police arrived, the SUV was on fire. The driver of the SUV died. The bus was carrying more than 30 people. 8 of them were injured. The driver of the bus is in critical condition. The crash happened on I-65 at the 68-mile marker. Claiborne County officials are investigating in Tennessee after an unresponsive infant was found at someone's home. According to the Claiborne County Sheriff's Office, investigators were sent to a home in the Sawney community around 4:30 Wednesday afternoon. While there, investigators found the unresponsive infant. The Sheriff's Office said the investigation is ongoing. No information has been released on the condition of the infant at this time. Pikeville Medical Center announced a new location for its Leonard Lawson Cancer Center Thursday. The center is now located on the 10th floor clinic of the Pikeville Medical Center. PMC officials say this center will offer better parking, access to other departments, and a new updated environment. Chief Executive Officer Donovan Blackburn said this move is going to be beneficial for all of the patients who come to the center.
You're at the sickest point of your life. You're battling often for your life at times. So having an environment to where you feel at ease, you feel comfortable with your physicians, you know you have well-trained staff, we're able to now offer that in one package at one location.
Blackburn said the updated space will be more private and comfortable. The Martin City Community Center is opening its doors once again. The center in Floyd County has been closed for the last 8 years. Judge Executive Robbie Williams made the push to reopen the building. Crews are installing new flooring and repairing the offices. Williams says he hopes to hold many community events here, including after-school programs.
It's important for us to get back into communities and let folks see where we're spending their tax dollars. There's no reason that we can't have this facility open, and there's no reason for our residents to drive to Knott County for their kids to play basketball every night when we have a facility here in Floyd County.
Now, Williams says the facility should be open within the next 90 days. Churchill Downs is one step closer to expanding. The track is looking to lease, own, and operate a racetrack extension in downtown Louisville. The Kentucky Racing Commission is giving the go-ahead. It will be at the new Louisville Thoroughbred Society, a private membership club dedicated to enhancing the state's horse industry. It is expected to open early next year.
It's National Take Your Dog to Work Day. I'm Chris Martinez with how pets are helping employers attract and keep workers.
The summer heat doesn't kick in until this weekend and later next week, but the season officially starts today in just a few hours. I'll tell you what we're expecting in about 3 minutes.